What's up YouTube, Capital G here talking True Kings and True Dracos in this video, and the deck has finally hit the OCG and it is actually making a little bit of waves, making Japanese players recognize and feel its presence. There was a tournament in Japan. It was about 64 people, not the biggest thing, but again, tournaments in Japan aren't nearly as big as they are in Europe or North America, and True Dracos actually got 3rd and 4th place. And I'm not talking about like some weird Zodiac beast. I'm talking about 100% pure True Dracos, no Zodiacs included. Now obviously Zodiac still did good at this tournament. I mean, Zodiac got 1st and 2nd, but it's pretty good because Maximum Crisis has basically only been out for a weekend, and True Kings / True Dracos are already topping. And one of the versions that got 3rd place I am super excited about, because you guys will notice no extra deck which obviously means my man was playing, let me see if I can get it, yeah, there we go, my man was playing Domain of the True Monarchs, and I absolutely love that card because it is such a great floodgate and it can just lock pendulum players or people who rely on extra deck fusion decks. It's basically like just having a dimensional barrier just the entire game, and this deck is actually it can actually incorporate it quite easily because True Kings already have like their amazing field spell, a card that makes it so that the first time one of their tribute summon monsters would be destroyed by battle, obviously they are not. It gives them really good stats as well, and it gives you the ability to blow up a card in your hand to basically search whatever you need in the entire archetype. But you're already going to be playing 3 copies of that. You're playing a bunch of terraformings to make sure, so it's like, why not just play Domain and basically just like floodgate out Zodiac Beast? Like before they even get anything going, you just put the Domain up, you tribute for any of your True Dracos / True Kings, and that deck can't play Yu-Gi-Oh at all. And the reason that I've said that this deck has one of the strongest grinds in Yu-Gi-Oh is because, well, for starters, they have basically a continuous what's it called, Oasis of the Dragon Souls. And the thing about these monsters, guys, is number one, again, they get battle protection, the tributed monsters, because of the field spell. So you know, the first time that they would be destroyed by battle, they aren't. But look at the defense of these guys. Like, this card allows you to summon one of your True Kings back from the graveyard in defense mode, but you know, 3,000 defense, where's the other one, 2950 defense. Like, these guys have huge asses. There's another one that I'm missing, it's like 2800 if I'm not mistaken. There we go, 2800 defense. So it's like your opponent is going to have something extremely big, and they don't want to blow these cards up with monster effects. Like, they don't even want to use Drantio on them, because if you use Drantio on them, they're just going to pay for themselves. They're like Yang Zings. When they get blown up, they basically just float anyways. And even if you start running low on monsters, like, it really won't matter because they have a card that's basically Disciples. It's like a mini Pot of Avarice. It basically just shuffles your guys back into the deck and then lets you draw a card. So it's like you have so much recursion, you have so much ability to just float, and then you have these huge ass defensive walls that you honestly don't even need to run an extra deck, which is crazy because we haven't seen anything like this since Monarchs. And the cool thing about this deck is you can kind of have all of these cards on the field. Your opponent will never Twin Twister you, because obviously anybody who knows about these cards knows that just about all of them except Gigantic Diagram, the field spell, you don't want to like blind MST, you don't want to Twin Twister any of these spell and traps, because these are the cards that they tribute to summon their True Kings, to tribute summon them. And if they go to the graveyard by any means, they will obviously blow up cards on your opponent's side of the field, and they cannot miss timing. So if you blind MST or you blind Twin Twister them and you have a field, you might end up fucking yourself over, because your opponent might be like, oh, that's fine, I'm just going to put him back in my deck next turn and draw a card. And by the way, I'm going to blow up your entire field. I'm going to blow up one of your monsters, blow up one of your traps. You just went like -2, so you didn't really accomplish anything. So I think that this is very interesting. Another cool thing about this deck is you can easily side Skill Drain for even more floodgate hate, and I cannot wait for this deck to get to the TCG, because I mean, I know that there were a lot of people that used to bash like Domain Monarchs, but I never had a problem. I was one of the people who used to love playing Domain Monarchs against like Performages and Pals, making it so they could never go into the extra deck. And this could be the next version of like the Domain deck, guys, because it's at full power. The deck has some draw ability. Obviously, it has a whole lot of searching with terraforming. You've got Wormterfall. I can never pronounce this card, forgive me, which is basically a Rhoda for all worm monsters. Their field spell is basically a Rhoda as well. They have a lot of draw supports in this card. True Draco Succession, which anytime dispels or traps or the Dracos go to the graveyard, you basically get to draw a bunch of cards. You get to draw one card for each one. So I'm starting to really feel this deck, guys, and it's starting to look like, I thought it would just be like a really good Yang Zing type deck, but I never even imagined, or I never even thought about potentially running Domain in the deck and not even using the extra deck, which is just, that's genius, because if you get set up before Zodiacs do anything, they basically are done. Like, they don't really run any battle traps, and obviously all the Zodiac monsters are small as fuck. In addition, I mean, come on, guys, 3,000 defense, like the defense of these cards are too high. Like, you're not getting over these cards. So let me know what you guys think. I'll probably talk about the other True King variant, because the Domain version is obviously one variant, but there was another version that was completely different that did run an extra deck, because you guys know that True Kings do have an amazing rank 9 monster. But I'll probably talk about that. I'll probably talk about that in like a couple of days. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think of this. How do you feel about Domain coming back into the meta potentially? Because, you know, people think that these cards are a long way out, but not really. This set comes out in May, so we're basically looking at like 3.5 months. It's not really going to be that long, and obviously Domain has no chance of getting hit. So if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already. Oh, and one last thing that I did want to point out, Eternal Nightmares, the new card from Maximum Crisis, has seen immediate play in the OCG and both versions of True Kings. This is important because if you're playing against Zodiac Beasts, obviously you want to be able to hit Tinky as soon as they activate it so they won't search, but then also being able to hit the Elemental Triangle before they can resolve that is good. If you're playing against the Wind Witch Idolin Artifact, you can hit Wonder Wand before that can properly resolve. It hits Call to Haunted too, because, you know, any deck that runs artifacts a lot of times is going to run Call to Haunted, and it hits the field spell so they can never really get to their Alistar. So this is a really cool card, and it's good to see that it is seeing immediate play. Basically, what I think it is it kind of serves as your like permanent Twin Twister. You just have to make sure that you get to it, you know, rather than running like 3 Twin Twisters or, you know, 3 copies of like Cosmic Cyclone or 3 MSTs. It kind of does the job of all of those, but it like saves space, and not really for the Pendulum matchup, because no one really plays Pendulums that much in the OCG. Zodiac Beasts were just far too fast and consistent. Plus, Anti-Spell Fragrance just basically shits on, you know, like Pendulum, so no one really plays them in the OCG. Just wanted to point that out.